Mike Bohn joined today by Joaquin Buckley, who is fresh off a win at UFC on ESPN 37. How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. Feeling good. How about you?
I'm good. Can't complain. You still like riding the high of victory, or a few days all you need to kind of decompress and move past it?
A few days just to decompress. Actually, I've been training still, so like we back in the lab. Actually, you know what I mean. So just in case the UFC calls us up for something crazy, you know what I mean, we'll be ready. So just had to decompress, but the high of the win was definitely we was up there. You know what I mean. So, but I'm glad to decompress now.
Yeah, is that normal for you to get right back in there, or was it just because the nature of the fight and, like you said, be ready for an opportunity, or is that like something that's kind of unusual that you wouldn't jump in so quick?
It's just the nature of the business, and I'm in a pivotal moment right now in my career that if I'm able to do something for the UFC at the last minute, I mean, I think they will reward me for that. So, we just gotta stay ready.
Reward you in what way?
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I get a spot with somebody that's in the top 10. You know what I mean? If somebody pulls out, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And obviously, I mean, one would think maybe a short notice opportunity at this point, would it be like your most ideal scenario? 5 wins in the past six. Like if something bigger comes, would you want to not be like fully prepared with the full camp? Or do you think that kind of stuff doesn't really matter because you're always more or less close to ready to fight?
I mean, like I said, it all depends. So right now, I'm not in that position. I'm on a 3-fight winning streak, and one more put me in a 4-fight winning streak. So depending on, like I said, this next fight, what they give me, that's how we play our cards. But like, let's say I win just some old random Joe, I knock him out. I'm on a 4-fight winning streak. I knock out another random Joe. Then I'm going to consider, what I mean, playing my pieces. But right now, if they want to give me somebody that was in the top 10 right now, I would take it.
Yeah,
Even if it was a weak
absolutely.
note, I would take it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're on this, run, as you said, 3 wins in a row. Obviously, that came on the heels of the defeat. Was there something that clicked with you after that loss that kind of sparked this, or do you just feel like this is
Which,
consistent with how you should have been competing?
which loss?
The last one against G Trico.
Yeah, it sparked. It just showed me that I had to. It's not that I wasn't taking it serious, but not taking it as serious as I should have been. Because I was still working another job, and I was just thinking like to myself that if I only rely on the UFC to get checks, you know what I mean, it's not a good mentality to have, you know what I mean. So my biggest thing, I always wanted just to work to have something extra, even though Walgreens ain't like a big job. It was just still something that I was used to doing, I was comfortable doing, and it was an extra check to get. But when I lost to Alessio Di Chirico, it just opened my eyes. I got to do this full time. It got to be my full time job. And also in reality, since it was my full time job, I was spending money every day and not getting anything in. So it made me even hustle harder and think better for myself in order to create businesses, whatever, in order for me to bring money in. But yeah, that the Chirico fight definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things. But it actually made me better overall, not just as the fight, but as overall business.
Yeah, what are some of the things you're doing right now that are kind of like outside of the fighting to keep yourself, good financially and just busy otherwise?
Right now we working on my solid foundation. That's my business right now, just merchandise, but we plan on working into becoming a media team. You know,
Mm.
yeah.
In like what sense, like media related to MMA or something
Yeah, I
outside of
mean,
it?
all overall entertainment and sports. So yeah.
Okay. What are your kind of like your passions and interests like outside of MMA in terms of like the entertainment world? Like what kind of people would you like to work with the most if you had your choice?
Man, that's a good question. I would like to work with a lot of guys. I want to start collaborating with a lot of people, influencers. Like of course CT Fletcher, Michael J. White. These are people that I look up to. You know what I mean,
Hmm.
and that I've seen. But just overall, just anybody that's a talent in the world. I would love to work with. In the entertainment business, besides just MMA.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm curious, going back to the last fight, have you been keeping up with this weird thing about like the stoppage time for your win? Like, so it's considered a second round by some, a third round by the
Yeah,
commission.
yeah.
It's very bizarre. Like, what do you make of this?
Be honest with you, it is odd, because with the referee, he seen that Albert Duraev, I was like blown up like
Hmm.
that. So if he wanted to send the doctor in, he should have did it as soon as the round ended. That's usually what they do. They're sending the doctor and see if he can continue the round. But they didn't do that. They put the inswell on him. You know what I mean? They, were trying to talk to him and motivate him to, continue the third round. But, Abduraev, he didn't turn around. Like, once the round started, he did not turn around. So, they was giving him more time that was not necessary because the third round did start. And then that's when the ref brought in the doctor. So that was just odd to me. They should have just stopped the fight, period. You know what I mean? Not even just to wave in the doctor, because that just gave Albert Duraev an excuse when he really just quit, But it's sad because I know a lot of people would have won a lot of good money in that second round. A lot of people had me picked to win in the second round, which I did win.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I'm sure to you at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter, but if you're a bettor, I could see how it would really piss you off. Yeah.
It does matter to me because, a lot of people put their money on it, and that's
sure.
all my KOs. A lot of them truthfully come in the second round. You know what I mean? And that's what I was planning on doing. That's why I pushed so hard to try to finish that fight. I was trying to do some extra moves. You seen I hit him with one and then came back with another two. And I was really hoping that was going to, solidify the knockout. But, it didn't. But as well, like I said, even though I didn't knock him out, I made him quit. So it still should not have continued to the third round. It should have been finished in the second.
Fair enough. Is there something like differently gratifying? I know like the euphoria and feeling of a knockout is probably, something that's unmatched, but to go in there and, like you said, make a guy quit, like, does that give you a different level of satisfaction too?
Yeah, it really does. Just because all the stuff that he was saying, just talking about how it was easy and, and then also trying to say I was a bad training partner when in all reality, like, none of that stuff was true. You know what I mean? So he's just being a arrogant prick, So my biggest thing is that, I'm glad that once I beat him, you know what I mean, it just really came to life. Like, all the things that he was saying was false, And, it is what it is. You know what I mean? He get to live with that. I don't have to. So, he got to live with the fact that he quit that night.
Yeah, and you guys were having some fun on social media the other day for Father's Day, Kevin Holland and such. Any of that? Was that just all in good fun, or any of that stuff rubbed you the wrong way?
It always is, you know what I mean? Eventually, between me and Kevin Holland, like, we'll see each other one day. We both young in this sport. We both making a splash right now. We're going crazy. So eventually, when the UFC sees a
Sorry, I lost you for a second there.
Yeah. Somebody was calling me. So.
Okay, yeah. So, sorry, you were saying?
Well, between me and Kevin Holland, we the two biggest stars in the UFC, young stars, you know what I mean, young prospects in the game that's coming up. So eventually we will run into each other. But, other than that, man, I'm a big fan of Kevin Holland,
Yeah. Were you impressed by his performance? I know you had kind of done your media on fight night, like, before he even got in the cage, so you didn't get to really speak on it.
I mean, I knew Kevin Holland was going to beat Tim Means, like, no disrespect. Like, I feel like it was just a good matchup for him to show out, but, we all did, fantastic that night. We all made histories from the prelims to the main cards, with everybody getting either knockouts or with Kevin Holland getting a submission finish. And I think, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with Kevin Holland getting that last finish, we didn't have the most finishes on the fight card ever. You know what I mean? So, kudos to him because now we made history. I'm on that historic card with him as well. So that's dope.
Yeah, and at the end of the night, I mean, like, you're seeing the crazy knockouts happen and stuff, and I wonder if you guys are wondering, like, damn, like, what are going to be the performance bonus situation? And then, not usually in your situation, like, a kind of in between rounds finish like that, probably wouldn't get it on normal card, but Dana gave it out to everyone.
Right. Yeah,
how excited were you when that happened?
Man, I was extremely blessed. I don't really want to talk about it, but, like, everybody's seen that, I wasn't being posted, after my win. So I feel like, the things that I said in my past interviews, unfortunately, put me in a bad situation with the promotion. But now I might be in a better light with them because they just see that no matter who they put me up against, I'm always going to be exciting and I'm always going to come and bring the fight. And, I just want to say I'm appreciative for Dana just looking at me and seeing that, I am the fighter that I say I am and rewarding me of the fight for performance bonus because he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that at all. So I'm very appreciative of that.
And any as kind of speaking to that, any regrets about certain things, or do you feel like
it's not regrets. It's just it's just how you say things and what you do. You know what I mean? So it's not what I said, but it's how I said it that I think kind of rubbed whoever I rubbed wrong. You know what I'm saying? So But my thing is, I just got to realize my place and my position, you know, in this game, and I don't mind doing that, you know, because I'm just trying to fight and make money. That's it.
You know, I know you're ready to go on short notice if they give you a call, but if you end up getting a full training camp for the next few months
Yeah.
for your next fight, do you think there's anyone that makes sense?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's plenty of guys that make sense for me. Definitely, when you talk about I got a training camp on top of that, but you know, I just don't want to give these guys no extra clout, you know, and get these guys like if I say their name, they're gonna be trying to get ready immediately. So I want it to be a surprise to them, you know. So I spoke to my manager. He spoke to the UFC, and you know, we gave him some names, but people talking about they injured or they already got things booked. So we just gonna wait on the UFC to match me up because they do a great job at it. So.
Yeah, well, that's a very cerebral approach from you, so I can respect that. In terms of, I guess, on the back of that, is there a month you think makes sense to you? Like, ideally, when would you be back in there if it's not, you know, like in the next month or something for a short notice fight?
Probably next 2 months. If I'm thinking like for real, next 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you're like, are you, you know, did you like the fact you're back in front of a crowd and stuff? Like, do you want to keep the ball rolling there? Or are you down to fight anywhere?
I really want to keep the ball rolling with this one, and I feel like, you know, it's only going to benefit not only myself but the UFC if they put me on those cards, you know, because I feel like I give a lot of momentum to fighters when I come out just because the way I fight, you know, and I always say like I want all the bonuses. Like it's just my mentality now. Like that's how I fight. I'm not saying that's actually going to happen, but I feel like if I keep that mentality, that's my way to try to outperform everybody, you know. And when people get me on their card, they kind of suspect like, hey, Joaquin might grab all these things. So, you know what I mean? I got to show out too as well. So I feel like I give a lot of motivation to fighters when I'm on that card. So, you know, I think it benefits not only myself, but the UFC to put me on those cards for other fighters.
Yeah, and I know it's always, you know, people will point back to the famous knockout, the viral one. I know you've said, you know, I want to get a viral knockout in the last fight and stuff too, but is that a good pressure or a bad pressure? Like, do you go in there, you know, putting a certain weight on yourself to do that? Or, you know, do you feel like it's just a product of your style and things like that are going to come? It may not be every fight, but it's going to be.
There you go. I like the way you said it, man. It's a product of my style. It's just how I fight. You know what I mean? It's not even me thinking about it. Like the way I go about things out there, it's always gonna be entertaining to the fans. And I feel like, you know, the more I grow and the more I learn, the more dangerous I become. You know, it's only just gonna get crazy. You know, so we're gonna have something else that's gonna happen that's gonna go viral and that's gonna be a big deal within the MMA community.
Awesome, man. Well, we're looking forward to it. I know you got some other things to do today, so I'll let you go. I really appreciate the time, and it seems like you're in a very good place. So congrats on the win, and hopefully you can get someone done soon.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, have a good day. Take care.